So hello and welcome everybody to this week's Akashic Soul Wisdom Show, where I, Natasha Harris, your host, I'm going to be having a powerful conversation with the beautiful Tuğçe Hobden today, all about emotions as tools in your business. I'm very excited. So Tuğçe is just going to share to her page. I'm going to do the same in a moment as people come and join us live. If you're joining us, please do come and say hello. Let us know where you're watching us from. I'm just trying to find the comments. And yeah, let us know who's watching. We'd love to say hello. Ask us any questions as you come through things. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Natasha Harris. I am an intuitive business coach and healer working with the beautiful ancient wisdom of the Akashic records. And I work with my clients to really discover their spark, discover their soul power so that they can take the next level of leadership and impact in their business, but also in their life. So over to the beautiful Tuğçe in a moment, who is here to talk to us today and give us some tips, some golden nuggets, and some little gems for you to take away about how you can integrate emotions as tools in your business. So Tuğçe, just tell us briefly and introduce a little bit about yourself and say hello to the group.
Hello. Okay, I've shared, so I managed to get that done on both my pages as well. So hello, everyone. Say hi if you're here joining us live. I'm Tuğçe Koçoğlu-Hobden, and I'm the founder of Coaching with Heart and Purpose and host of Light Conversations. So as Natasha introduced me, I'm a certified transformational coach and also a certified Kundalini Yoga teacher as well. So I kind of consider myself a bit of an alchemist. I love to blend these powerful modalities, the powerful transformational coaching with the science and wisdom and technology of Kundalini Yoga. Love them both. So I help mainly support mumpreneurs, mums, people who are busy women juggling their lives, many plates, spinning loads of things, to help them navigate through their life's challenges, and to also up level professionally and personally. I also work with men, so it's not just exclusive to women, but so yes, everyone welcome for me. So Kundalini Yoga, I don't know if just a little bit about Kundalini, I'm not sure.
Yeah, just to briefly say what Kundalini Yoga is, and then we'll talk a little bit about how you got to your journey as well, because I'm sure people will be fascinated about that.
Yes, of course. So Kundalini Yoga is also known as a yoga of awareness. So it is really something that helps you kind of, the Kundalini is the energy, the serpent that rises up the Sushumna, which is our central channel, through the Sushumna Nadi, and it's think of it as your light force, not just your life, but your light force coming through, and it's our awareness. And I've read somewhere that actually Kundalini Yoga, 1 year of Kundalini Yoga is the equivalent of 5 years of Hatha Yoga. Wow. So it just shows you how transformative, how quickly it can transform things. And it's really designed to work with your glands and organs in the body, as well as the metaphysical, so the chakras, the vayus, the gunas, all that metaphysical side of it. So the physical and the metaphysical. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit more.
Fantastic. You're going to be talking to us through a little breathing exercise or a little exercise, aren't you, to connect with that a little bit. But I love that idea of it's our light force, not just our life force. It's the light that we shine within and how we work. So I can see a few people watching. Give us a hello. Somebody said hello, but we can't see who that is. So just pop your name in. Let us know where you're watching from. Welcome to those. And yeah, I just we are emotional beings, aren't we? So it's how we navigate our emotions in our business as well. So I'm really excited to be having this conversation. But also just briefly as well, Tuğçe, tell us a little bit about your journey to getting here, because I've known you for a little while and your journey has been incredible, seeing you shine through and to really expand into what you love doing, to discover what you love doing, and really being powerful in what you do as well. So just give us a brief little introduction into how you got to this point in your business from being in corporate, because I know that's where you were before.
Yes. Well, I spent 18 years in advertising, in the digital global media planning side of advertising. So, I ran my last account as an executive director, running 25, running the EMEA, the Europe, Middle East and Africa hub from London. So, had a team of 25, 44 countries in Europe, Middle East and Africa. It was intense. Global media planning was my life for 18 years. And I really used to kind of look around myself, and I really felt a bit of a stranger there. I didn't feel like I fit in. And it was an area I went into because I studied psychology with communications. Mm-hmm. Psychology has always been one of my passions. I started reading Jung when I was 13, which was where that bridge of psychology and spirituality was really coming through to me. I used to also read tarot cards from a very young age. So at the age of 12, I think I got my first tarot deck, which was a Luigi Scarpini deck. And yeah, I was kind of a bit, I was very intuitive. My granny was psychic. I had, lots of strange things would happen. But I ignored that part of me. I think it was when I was growing up, I went to university. I was still doing a lot of tarot readings at the time, and I did until my early 20s. But I kind of felt that I ended up conforming and feeling like I had to do something that would be acceptable in society, which was, so what's the nearest thing that's acceptable? Advertising, something that's around psychology. So I stepped into that field. However, that field didn't really align to me. For quite a long time, I kind of felt, I think within 10 years, I was thinking, I really want to go into coaching. It took me another 8 years to actually make that step, which is crazy.
I'm sure there are many people who can resonate with that. And if you haven't taken that step yet, then listen on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had lots of whispers. There was, my intuition had been dulled a lot by that point. I was working crazy hours. It was very intense, a period of my life. And I was getting illness. I was getting sick. My body was not in its baseline of ease. It was in dis-ease. So the more I resisted who I am at soul level, the more distant I became to myself. And I actually became someone who I thought was unrecognizable. So this part of my life was almost hidden. I completely hid it. I actually remember about 6 years ago, when we were having our house renovated, my husband found my original tarot cards and he said, "Do you want these?" And I said, "No, that's not part of who I am. That's not who I am anymore." And I threw them away. How stupid was that? But that's kind of the journey, that the path.
Yeah, it's never wrong.
Yeah, so I had to be on that, and it was a really interesting journey. And actually, I've learned a huge amount of it, in that part of my life. But what was really interesting, and this is where the emotion in business came into it, was how, working with a lot of senior people in corporate, a lot of very senior people who acted like toddlers, right?
That's hilarious. I love that.
I don't know how much I filter anymore. I'm quite honest about things now. But it was really literally like, you're walking around and seeing people, and it's like, we're adults. However, we are going around still wearing nappies, it feels like in some cases. There were clients who would kind of, be really abusive and rude to people, thinking, what is going on here?
Right.
Yeah, have you noticed? Yeah, did you notice that in your role? In your world, because you were.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was probably one of them, to be fair. I'll hold my hands up to that. But yeah, my goodness. And so then, and now look at where you are.
So even when I left the corporate world, I was still, and Natasha, you'll know this, I was like, I'm going to be a corporate coach. So I was still holding on to that part of it. And Kundalini actually came to me, found me a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I think it was, when my father had a TIA, a mini stroke, when we were on holiday in Turkey. Luckily, we have a house there. They have a house there, and we were there. And I was looking for something that's going to help him with his, his memory and brain function. And Kundalini yoga, I came across a meditation called Tirthankriya, which is a beautiful meditation, which uses mudra, mantra, as well as visualization. And that's when the relationship started. Although I think I'd originally come across it 15, 20 years ago, but I wasn't in the right place. I remember thinking, this is a bit weird. I'll stick to Bikram or whatever it was at the time I was doing. And I tried so many different types of yoga, But this time around, when I got back, when I discovered yoga Kundalini this time, something clicked. And and that relationship, it has been really developing over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I can't wait for us to do a little exercise later. And I know you've got loads to share with us, around a few tips around this whole topic of emotions. So thank you for sharing your story. It's fascinating. And I'm sure so many people can identify with that journey of not recognizing who we are. I became something that I didn't recognize in the corporate world, and would kind of look at myself and think, who the hell is this woman? Like, who have you become? And it's a difficult and tricky place to be in. And it's about having seeing those signs along the way, as you said your father needed some support, and allowing ourselves to evolve into that and seeing what doors open. And boy, have they opened for you. So what are the first kind of things that you want to share with us today, Tuğçe?
So I've seen just here a Facebook user saying, hello from Florida. Hello.
Oh,
and then looking forward to the Kundalini exercise. Well, I've got a couple for you today. So very excited to be sharing that. So I studied, actually, my Kundalini University was with Guru Singh and Brett Larkin. So they're based in the US as well. And the first thing I wanted to share with you is actually, let's take it back to the basics, okay? Is emotions as tools, but actually the breath as a tool. So the first and foremost is our breath. So I had a bit of a challenging time, let's say in the beginning of this year, when we were back into lockdown, and I noticed myself when my emotions started getting a bit out of control again, going, I'm thinking, I've got this Kundalini daily yoga practice, I've got a meditation practice, I'm a transformational coach, why am I still getting like this? And my kids' laptop broke down, and I remember just locking myself in the loo and crying and going, like, oh my God, why can't I deal with this? And then a few days later, there was a module on emotionology, the science behind emotions. And I had that aha moment in that module, went, oh my goodness, I have to share this in an accessible and digestible way, because not everyone is a yogi, right?
That's it, isn't it? It's making it accessible.
So the breathing exercise, so breath work really is our number one tool to calm our nervous system, okay? So 80% of us suffer from something called email apnea. I don't know if you've heard of that. So email apnea is essentially when we're looking at emails and we hold our breath, or we take So I used to get it when I was back in corporate, when I'd get an email like urgent, bold capital letters from a client, go and most of us actually breathe paradoxically anyway. We breathe from the chest. So I just want to bring everyone's awareness to their breath, and not to judge themselves about this, because in the last year, I've encountered about 90% of people, 99% of people actually breathe the reverse way. So this way of breathing actually activates our sympathetic nervous system, which then ignites our fight, flight, and freeze response. And we, as you know, we have many illnesses, stress-related illnesses in this world due to this. So
we're increasing as well.
Yeah. So the first breath is, so let's go and take it back, and then I'm going to add a little movement to it, or it's actually tapping to it. So we're just going to do some normal breathing. We're just going to do some diaphragmatic breathing. So you can place your hand on your belly. So, and just inhale and push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly back towards the spine. Inhale, push the belly back, push the belly out. Exhale, push the belly back towards the spine. And just do that. So now we're going to add to this. Okay, so once you've got the breath, and you can do this breath when you're making a cup of tea, when you're scrolling on, social media feeds, just because it might feel a bit tricky at first. So it's just practice, right? Just regular practice. And if you do yoga, you probably do this anyway already. So we're going to now add a tapping to it. So we're going to start to tap. So EFT is emotional freedom technique, which uses the meridian lines. And this is we'll be tapping our sternum. Behind our sternum is our vagus nerve, right? And I'll talk a bit more about the vagus nerve in a minute. If you're highly sensitive like me, or an empath, like I'm sure a lot of these people on the show we're watching will be, just begin to tap and you'll notice that this already will start to calm your nervous system. So now with the breath.
I have to say, to focus on my breath and tap. That requires.
And now, okay, so let's do the breath again. So inhale, belly out. Exhale, push the belly back in. Inhale, belly out. Exhale, belly towards the spine. We could even add another step to it. If you're ready to, you can start to block.
Also, yeah.
So you can block your right nostril. Inhale through the left. And exhale both nostrils. Inhale, blocking the left nostril. Exhale through both. And we'll do one more. Inhale through the left. Keep tapping. Exhale through both. Inhale through the right. Pushing the belly out, and exhale through both. Pushing the belly back. Just bring your palms to your knees, palms down on your knees or facing up, and just, notice the experience of that.
Yeah, definitely. Just if you've been doing that, then please type in the comments what came up for you. I just feel quieter. I was actually talking about the whole breath thing with a client today, and it is a practice, and I've been practicing that for many years, and it's when I feel myself not in sync with my breath, now I really notice it, so it's able to come back to it. But just that takes it to another whole level. So that was really calming and beautiful. Somebody else says very calming. Kimberly says she's going to come back and watch the replay. She's definitely happy she came across the session today. Thanks for all the wonderful information. You're welcome, Kimberly. So we hope you do come back and watch this. That just really, I like that tapping. Does it matter how fast or slow we tap?
No, as long as you're tapping the sternum, and you can do it at a pace that suits you, whatever feels right to you, you're activating. So the vagus nerve is an incredible nerve, right? It is Latin, vagus means, vagrant means wandering. So it's a wandering nerve that connects the head. I'm going to call them the head brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain, because we've got 3 neurological centers, which is why this is so important, this vagus nerve, because actually it connects the 3 neurological centers. And it actually, when you're tapping your sternum here, your heart, our heart center has a really, it's our portal to oneness, right? It's our giving and receiving area. And it also sends signals up to our head brain. And those signals are then taken by the head brain. We normally think of the head brain being the leading one. Yes, it has been leading in the last, 120,000 years or whatever, however long it's been, because we get it in terms of analytical. We look at it, yes, no, right, wrong, good, bad.
Yeah.
Once, that kind of the polarity side is the analytical polarities. But the heart brain really kind of sends signals back up to the head brain and actually says, no, this is what we need to do. So the 3 in alignment also, so the gut brain is incredibly important as well, because that actually is our first neurological center that was ever created when we were little, cells or whatever we were, back at however many millions of years ago. So when we align those 3, we also step into that universal mind. Yeah. So we're aligned and become more open to receiving information and downloading information that is needed for us.
Yeah. That makes so much sense, doesn't it? And it is about, I talk a lot about alignment, as you well know, Tuğçe.
Yes, exactly.
Coming back to our center, coming back to alignment of who we are, opening up those channels so that we can then receive that information and go out there and take action and do what feels good and right and aligned in our business. So I'm guessing that, you know, that's a lot of the part that you teach as well, is that, you know, bringing these emotions rather than blocking them and locking them away and, you know, ignoring them or getting run away with them, that actually when we recognize that our emotions are getting the better of us, that we come back into alignment to acknowledge those, can really help us in our business as well.
Absolutely. Exactly. Getting into alignment, it gets us centered, and it really helps us to make decisions that are actually better decisions, really, isn't it? To kind of help us move forward and take action. It's that taking that action, isn't it? In our business in the right direction.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the gut brain is also our area for connectivity. It's our connection with food and nourishment, but also with each other. So it's really important that that connection is there. And another little tip for just to look out for, rather, when we have our next Mercury retrograde, which is also in an air sign. All the Mercury retrogrades have been in air signs this year. And the next one's in Libra. So it will be when we're in Libra. I think it's September the 27th and to the 18th of October.
You've got a little while to go then.
A little while to go, but 2 weeks before that, remember there's a 2-week shadow before and a 2-week shadow after. Yeah. Just when our lungs, when we're in retrograde, our breath is the most important thing, because that's when we're in air sign, because that's utilizing our lungs. So just remember that when it comes sort of early September time. So I just wanted to sort of share that as well.
That's really fascinating as well, isn't it? Someone's just saying it felt a bit hard to do, but feel calmer and open afterwards. So that really kind of brings to me that sometimes these things are not easy. They do take practice. But even when we do something differently, which is hard because we're kind of doing something we've never done before. So it's not like, oh, that's really, really hard, but it is hard or challenging to do. But we can still feel better even though we're doing something hard. So I really like that. So thank you for sharing that. I can't see your name. Sorry. Sometimes it doesn't show it. And someone else has said this is really useful and practical information. Thank you both. Oh, well, you're so welcome. So welcome. This is enlightening. Yeah, carry on, Tuğçe.
I think I've got that particular breathwork on my website. It's a free, it's on there. I think it might be on my not just my YouTube page, but my Facebook page as well. I often pop on and do breathwork. When it's working for me, I'm like, I have to share it with everyone. I get really excited. Yeah. But going back to your point, Natasha, about we have these patterns, right? We have. So many of us have patterns. We're stuck in patterns. I mean, our emotional body is in our solar plexus. So the emotional body is stored here, as well as our subconscious. So we operate 95% on the subconscious. Okay, a lot of what we do comes from that, which is 95% of the time. Yeah. So bringing your awareness to it, and when we know we might be repeating a pattern, or there's a loop going on, just going, that's really interesting. And then breath work can actually change that, can help you to clear the subconscious, as well as meditation. And obviously there's lots of tools that can, but sometimes we don't know exactly what it is, do we? In our subconscious, what patterns they are repeating.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just becoming aware of these things and starting to learn how to shift them. And emotions, and you kind of touched on it before, like the good and the bad, and the left brain, the right brain, and it's emotions are not bad. We are emotional beings. And one of the things that when I've really lent into and recognized that I'm emotional sometimes. Sometimes I feel tearful. Sometimes I feel sad. Sometimes I feel frustrated. It's okay, but it's what we do with that. And what I've really recognized from what you shared today, Tuğçe, is that the importance of what we can do when we have that, when we notice, when we witness our emotions showing up, that we have things that are available to us. Might be a bit difficult to do, but can instantly, we did that for like 30 seconds, right? So we can change our emotional state within 30 seconds. And I find that absolutely fascinating. And I know as well from my own work that it works, but I just find that I just want to reiterate to people that these things can be really helpful when we feel that we're a bit lost in our emotions as well.
Yeah, and that old programs can be reprogrammed as well. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. And I love that you mentioned about the energy is just, energy is not energy. Negative, there's no negative or positive energy. It's neither good or bad. It just is. And energy is emotion. Emotions are energy in motion. So it really is about moving that energy. And that's, I guess it moves me on to the next point, which I want to show another asana with a pranayama about, let's say we've got anger, or you mentioned frustration. So frustration and anger can be really positive, okay? If we ride it on the wave, on the right point of that wave, let's imagine ourselves on a surfboard, and we get on the surf, when we ride that wave at the right point, it can be amazing, right?
Yeah.
We can use that for determination to take positive action in our business.
Absolutely.
If we don't ride it on the right wave, on the right part, we can go crashing down, right? So flat on our faces.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So, and we can be like, okay. So we don't want anger to turn into rage. We don't want to become destructive. But if you do feel anger, let's move that energy. So can I invite you? I know we haven't got very long, but invite you to do a pranayama and asana with me to just, feeling anger, use it. So my favorite. I often put music to this. So my favorite tune would be Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of. Not a great word, but it's a good song to kind of get your anger out. So we're going to come into horse stance. So horse stance, I don't know if you can see me. I'll be, horse stance, it's bending the thighs, okay? I'll come a bit closer.
Bending the thighs, right, okay.
So we're bending the thighs, and our feet are slightly pointed out. So we're going to bend our thighs, because when we're bending our thighs, we're putting pressure onto our thigh bones, into our femur, where our bone marrow is. And bone marrow is what produces red blood cells, okay? So we're producing blood chemistry, healthy blood chemistry, okay?
Yeah.
And then we're going to put our hands out, curl your thumb in, and then curl your fingers over your thumb very gently. We don't want to crush our thumb. You wouldn't do this if you're a boxer or a martial arts, but we want to activate the acupuncture points. And then we're going to inhale here, and then on the exhale, we're going to punch forward. So, and we're going to exhale through our lips. Inhale, exhale through the lips. And keep your bending the thighs as well. So if you do this, and then what I would normally do in a kriya, if this is in a kriya, is, or if I'm just doing it on my own, listening to music, I would then do it double time. So you go.
Oh, wow.
So you should feel a little burning sensation in your thighs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so keep your thigh. And then we double punch. So I would recommend you do this maybe a minute each. And so you do 3 minutes in total.
Okay.
And
Nice.
then, notice the sensations.
Oh, hello, thighs.
It's great.
That's
what's awakening the blood chemistry in your thighs. You're producing red blood cells there, which is going to be circulating. And blood chemistry, healthy blood chemistry, is what in turn produces emotions, behaviors, and then our thoughts. So this is why we have to move all this area. We're constantly moving, working with our organs and glands and Kundalini, because they secrete hormones, proteins, lipids, and peptides.
Wow. I'm just trying to think, or not think, but just to feel into what I'm feeling. I feel energized, but I also feel invigorated, like just a lighter energy, not like I just want to be a more playful, fun energy. That's how I feel right now. My thighs are definitely burning. So let us know how you
Mine too.
Oh my goodness. How you felt that went, what came up for you. Thanks for whoever joined.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, we're going to wrap up now anyway, but thank you for joining us. And thank you to everyone that's joined us, whatever platform you're on. But Tugce, I know that you're actually giving a masterclass tomorrow and you're going to be sharing a lot more. So you have got a final moment, a window, if anybody is watching, go and join that. So just give us a very brief where they can find that and what that's about. And we will post the links in the Facebook feed after this we ended this live. So yeah, Tugce, just tell them quickly.
It's on my website, so coachingwithheartandpurpose.com under events. So that's my masterclass, and it will also be available as a replay if you can't make it live. It's a 3-hour class where I talk about this and a lot more, and we do more movement, more Kundalini, and more breath work, and it's powerful. Yes, powerful stuff. And there's more stuff coming later on in the year as well from September onwards. So just, if you're interested in Kundalini, come and join one of my classes.
Yeah, so like everything will be on Tugce's website. I highly recommend, if you enjoyed today's talk, go over to Tugce's website. We'll post the link in there so you can go straight over to that. Just say it once more again, Tugce.
coachingwithheartandpurpose.com/events. Well, that's the website, but the events is separate.
Fantastic. So yeah, if you're interested, go pop over there. As Tugce said, you'll get the replay. I highly recommend it. Working with Tugce is incredible. And yeah, thank you so much, Tugce, for today. I have really enjoyed this. We could do this for an hour, but I don't want to give everything away today.
I could talk about this for hours.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the two of us, I think we could probably go for hours without any problem whatsoever. But thank you. I really appreciate your time sharing with this beautiful community and this beautiful group. If this resonated with you, please do share in the comments. Let us know how it was for you. Do reach out to Tugce, to myself. And if you're interested in working with the Akashic Records, please do reach out to me and I can tell you a little bit about those and how you can work with those in your business to really take your business and your life to the next level of impact and leadership. Thank you again, Tugce. Is there any last parting thoughts you'd like to leave here in the group?
Well, thank you so much, Natasha, for having me today. It's been an honor. It's been so much fun. I've loved it. And yes, if anyone wants to find out more, emotions as tools, they are so, we can be the master of them or the mistress of them.
Yes, I like that. Let's be the mistress of our emotions and let's rule them, not let them rule us. So thanks again, Tugce, and we'll see you all, everyone else, again for next week's show here on Wednesdays, 4 p.m. UK time, every Wednesday. And we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.